Good morning, everybody, and welcome to a weekly message from Jesus. You may see a few appendages that I don't usually have. Connie and I both caught COVID last week, and I did everything that could be necessary, but I wound up in the hospital for it. And I'm going to be on oxygen for a while as a result. So I would caution anybody out there COVID is very real. I underestimated it. It's causing me quite a bit of problems that are going to have to be addressed. But anyway, if you come down with the symptoms, go to the doctor immediately. They have new meds, they can stop it. If they hadn't stopped it, I don't think I'd be here to be speaking with you right now. So, our Father is here, and I know that He has a very important message because I think He let me out of the hospital yesterday so I could do it. So, Connie has COVID as well. She's sitting in the corner, so if you hear coughing, that's where it's coming from. And hopefully I make it all through this. So, Father, let us begin. Hello, everyone. I know that if you're listening to the news, you're hearing terrible things going on in the world today. You might say, why doesn't God step in and stop it? Well, I can answer that one for you. I gave you free will. All humans have it. We've discussed it for almost 3 years now here. And they have chosen to use it. I allowed the terrorists to do terrible, terrible things. I didn't stop it because that's their free will. They're making their choices, and when they return, they will pay the price for it. That's the way things work. Not all justice is handed out on earth. They will be judged for the terrible things they do. Because of what they're doing, the people of Israel, they have a right to live. Palestinians have a right to live. The terrorists have taken over many of the good Palestinians. I love the Palestinians. I was one. How can you be closer? The fact remains that good and extreme evil exist with the current Palestinian people. The bad has overtaken the good, and sadly, the good are going to pay. My people have instructed them to leave the country because they will not stand for an attack such as with the terrible impact. Now, this is going to set off possible chain reactions. I realize that. You see, the Holocaust took place. They tried to wipe out the Israelis. For some reason, throughout history, bad has tried to wipe out the existence of the Israeli people. I led them to the Holy Land. I knew that I would be returning to them. And I had hoped that people would be able to live in peace. Throughout time, things have changed. The Palestinian people have had terrible problems. If you truly look at what was going on, you will see that many Palestinians live in Israel at peace. They work with the Israelis, they get along. But the terrorists, the evil people of the world, do not want this to happen. They want power. They want to win, and they'll do anything. Did you see the news shorts where they cut off the heads of babies? What could be worse than that? So now the world is going to have to make choices. These actions are going to force the good to stand up or to be weak-kneed and surrender to evil. Today, as I watch from the other side, I'm watching the incredible insanity of what's taking place in the American government. This is a time that you need to stand up. I made America the greatest country, the strongest country, and I expect them to stand up to evil. You cannot even make your House of Representatives come together to vote. How are you going to stand up for evil? You have got people in your government that are proclaiming that the Palestinian terrorists, and I will always use the word terrorist because I do not think that they are indicative of the Palestinian people. They are separate, they are evil. There are other countries that are promoting the evil, and they are allowing these evils to take place. Iran is a country of evil. The people are beautiful, they're wonderful people, but the government has taken over and has forced them to follow the evil traits that their government demands. They are testing the world right now. You have got to understand that. If you do not stand up, there will be another Holocaust. There will be nuclear war, and the Holocaust will come to America. I want you to understand. I cannot be more clear than this. Russia, they attacked the Ukraine. They felt that the people would not stand up to them. Well, guess what? Those people have decided that they would rather die than live under Russian rule. They're standing up to them, and you need to support the people that stand up to evil. You cannot be spending money on other things that will allow weakness to be shown. You must do all that you can to wipe out evil as soon as you can. It is only growing in the world. Unless you are an ostrich with your head in the sand, you cannot miss what is taking place. Soon you will see others attempt to come against the Israeli people for protecting themselves. Yes, they are going to inflict great violence. It's terrible. I hate to see it. But they are not the ones that started it. They have been negotiating, trying to live in peace since their founding. Yes, they have been abused, and they do abuse. Evil generates evil. Hatred generates hatred, and anger generates anger. As a people, they will do anything that they can do to survive. They are a small country and they need help. They need to understand that the great powers of the world will assist them against evil. They will try to reduce the violence, but they must respond. It is the only way that the future of the world can progress in the way that I want it to progress. When the Holocaust took place, I felt that it would be the final message for humans to get along. That lasted about 6 months after the war. Soviet Union took advantage of it. They stepped in and they created a terrible, terrible existence for the people of Russia. There is nobody alive in Russia that lived under freedom. The fall of the Soviet Union, there was great hope. But powerful people stepped in and they created a monster. That monster will take over Europe if it's allowed to do it. You see, I can see the future. I will not interfere with the free will of humans. It's not my role. I sent you back with life plans. You make your own decisions. You follow good or you follow evil. Your life plan gives you a very limited time. You will return to me. As you grow older, you will weaken, but you still must stand for good. Until the day that you close your eyes, do all that you can to follow me. Bring others to me. You see, time is limited. You see Barry today. His time is limited. He knows it. Connie's time is limited. She knows it. But every day when their feet hits the ground, they serve me. I want you to think about that. Go out and tell others to serve me. You see, what's taking place is going to expose much of what is happening around you that you may not understand. Did you see how the students at Harvard reacted to it? They blamed Israel. They blamed Israel for getting 2,000 of their people killed, for a sneak attack that killed women. They're holding hostages. You see, people are being misled by your colleges. I've spoken to that before. Individuals don't even understand where they can find the truth. You would think that the highly educated students at Harvard would understand right and wrong, but their teachers have polluted their minds to the point that your most intelligent people in your highest and esteemed colleges can't tell right from wrong. And they're going to be the attorneys that will be leading your country. Think about that. You need to address evil wherever it exists, even if it's in your own colleges. These people have no right to pollute the minds of others to believing that violence is the answer. Violence is never the answer. It is a means to an end, and no one knows what that end will be. There is much going on that you need to understand. You see, people may not like what I'm saying today. Well, I don't care. I need humans to act like humans. I want them to act in my image and do what is right. If you do not sort out the cancers of evil in your educational system, you are headed for many problems. I tell you every week that the youth are the ones that will run the world. If these youth are being misguided, and it's very easy to see, use common sense. Yes, the Palestinians have been abused. But think about what the Israeli people have gone through. Since their founding in 1948, they have fought many wars. They suffer missile attacks every night. They respond. What they are doing now, they feel will be the final response. It's terrible. I hate to watch what's taking place. Do not misunderstand me for 1 second. War is horrible. It is terrible. Holocausts are terrible. I have shown them all to you, and you have failed to learn that lesson. There are countries that want to destroy you, and you must be smart enough not to be inefficient in the decisions that you make. If you do not stand strong today, then you will find you will not stand strong tomorrow because you will not have the ability to do it. Contact your governments. Tell them that they need to just simply use common sense and defend those that are defending good. It's not hard to tell who it is. It's obvious. Your governments have known it for years. I want you to understand that humans are at a critical decision point. If you make the wrong decisions now, the effects will be terrible in the future. I hope that I haven't offended too many of you today. But you see, if I have, I don't really care. I'm trying to tell you what's right. I'm trying to tell you what's wrong. If you do not defend the weak in the world, then you will be one of the weak that is looking to have people defend you. I made the democracy strong to take strong stands. Now is the time. So we'll be back again next week. I know Barry isn't looking great, but he'll be back. So I thank you very much. Please pass on this message. This is a really important message. I knew that it was time to speak, frankly. So I bless all of you, and I especially bless all of you that know how to stand up to evil. I do not bless those of you that stand up to evil. You will pay the price. So thank you, and we will return again next week. Well, that was worth getting out of the hospital for. Okay. Join us next week, and please spread his words. It's really, really important. I can't tell you how important it is. So goodbye, and at least I got another week to go.